Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial of this look right here. Please excuse my voice. I am kind of sick and I feel disgusting. But today I wanted to do a kind of warm smoky eye with some purple. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I hope you enjoy. Today I am going to be priming my face with the MAC Prep and Prime primer. I absolutely love this primer. It just has a really nice smooth finish. It fills in all my lines. My foundation always looks awesome when I put it over top of this. Just lays so nicely and keeps your makeup on all day. Next, I'm going to be priming my eyes with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. I used to get a lot of wrinkles in my eyeshadows, and ever since then I've used this primer potion and it just seems to work really well. It keeps your eyeshadow in place. It also gives you really nice blendability. Alright, next I'm going to be moving on to my eyeshadow. I'm going to be grabbing Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek and blending that in my crease. I'm going to use windshield wiper motions back and forth and blending that up and down on my eyelid. Next, I'm going to be grabbing Chickadee by Makeup Geek. This is a very intense orange color, so I just put a little bit on my brush. I just dab it and then I kind of tap off the excess color. And I'm just going to do that right over top of the peach smoothie that I just did. This just adds a little warmth to the face and it gives a nice transition. For both the peach smoothie and the chickadee, I am using a Morphe brush from a travel set that I bought. It's just kind of a thin blending brush. Any blending brush will work, really. Next, I'm going to be grabbing my Morphe M502 brush. And with that brush, I am going to be grabbing Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek. Just kind of a warm, chocolatey brown. And I'm going to be blending that in the innermost part of my crease back and forth from the outer corner to the inner corner. Next, I'm going to be using another Morphe brush. This is just kind of like a short, fluffy brush that I'm going to be using to apply the shade Sketch from MAC. This is just a nice kind of shimmery purple color. And I'm going to be applying that in the outer corner and just blending that in the outer corner and up into the crease a little bit. I felt like the Sketch shadow wasn't appearing as purple as I wanted it to be, so I just overlaid, using the same brush, the shade Deep Damson from MAC, and I just kind of put that right over top of the Sketch, blended it into the crease and onto the outer corner of my eye, and I just kind of blended the two together, and it appeared to be more of a warmer purple shade, more of what I was going for. Next, I am just using a flat brush to apply the shade Amber Lights by MAC. This is such a pretty kind of copper shimmer shade. I love using this on my lid. I just think it looks so pretty. So I'm just going to blend that from the inner corner of my eye and kind of just blend that into the outer corner where those purples are. Next, I'm going to use the shade Nylon by MAC and apply that just on my brow bone to give a nice subtle highlight. Alright, now I'm going to move on to foundation. I'm going to be using the Naked Skin Weightless Liquid Makeup Foundation by Urban Decay. I'm in the shade 2.0 right now. It's a little bit lighter than what I used in my last video just because I've been feeling kind of sick lately, so I feel like I look a little bit more pale. So this shade is just going to fit me better today. So using the Morphe E44 brush, I'm going to blend the foundation onto my skin, starting first on my jaw and blending up onto my cheeks. Then moving on to my T-zone and just kind of layering that to give a nice flawless finish. Now moving on to concealer. I pretty much only use one concealer, and that's the Naked Skin Complete Coverage Concealer. I absolutely love this concealer. I've tried multiple and I just don't feel like other concealers give as great as a coverage as this one does, and it just feels like nothing is there. It's completely weightless and it just gives a really nice finish to the skin. I am in the shade Light Neutral for the concealer. I'm just going to take this concealer, apply it under my eyes, down the side of my nose, and across my cheek. I'm going to take a line straight from my nose up to my forehead, and then put a little bit on my chin, and then also on the dark spot on my face. And then I'm just going to use a damp beauty blender to blend all of that out. Next, I'm going to be setting my foundation and my concealer. The best way that I like to set my face is using the RCMA Setting No Color Powder, and I like to put it on my damp beauty blender and just apply that and press under my eyes and then moving towards the rest of my face. This just sets it the best for me. My makeup doesn't move and it just gives a really nice smooth finish, and it stays on all day, even in the Florida heat where it's 85 degrees outside and I'm sweating. I put my sunglasses on and it doesn't leave a residue. It's just wonderful, honestly. Next, I'm going to be contouring my face. I'm going to be using the Morphe E4 brush, and I'm going to be applying the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm in the shade Light to Medium, and I'm going to be grabbing the shade on the bottom row all the way to the right. Using that Morphe brush, I am going to be applying the darker shade along my hairline at the top of my face, and then I'm going to be blending that towards the center of my face, but be careful not to get any of that darker color near the center of your face. It just makes your face look smaller and it just looks like a muddy kind of finish. Next, I'm going to move down to my cheekbones. I'm just going to apply that darker shade right under my cheekbones and kind of blend that from my ear down to the corner of my mouth. I'm also going to be using that contour brush to drag that darker shade along my jawbone. This just gives a nice shadow and makes your face appear a little thinner. Alright, next I'm going to be grabbing some bronzer. I'm going to use the Too Faced Beach Bunny bronzer. I love this bronzer because it not only has some nice bronzing shades, but it also adds like a little bit of pink to it, so I'm not going to have to use blush today. I'm just going to apply that right over top of my contour and moving up towards the top of my cheekbones. Next, I'm going to be using the Morphe M501 brush to apply my Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. I'm just going to use this right on the tops of my cheekbones and just pulling that back, and then also on the tip of my nose and right above my upper lip. Now I'm going to go back in with my under eye shadow. I like to do the under eye shadow after my foundation just because I think it appears a little bit more brighter and the foundation won't cover it, of course. Some people like to do foundation first and then eyes after. I don't like to do that just because if the eyeshadow were to fall on my foundation, I just think it looks a little messy. So that's why I like to do my eyeshadow and then foundation and then my under eye shadow. I'm just going to be using a kind of small, thin brush for my under eye area. I got this from Target. It's Sasanya Kashuk, however you say it. I got it during Christmas time. They have really great holiday sets. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to be applying the shade Chickadee by Makeup Geek. I'm going to be pulling that color from my outer corner to my inner corner and just kind of blending that down. With that same brush, I'm going to be using the shade Deep Damson, and I'm going to pull that from my outer corner to kind of like the center of my eye and then just kind of blend that out. I didn't want to do too much purple because I want to keep the darker colors towards the outer part of my eye. It makes your eyes appear bigger. Next, I'm grabbing a MAC liner brush. This is the MAC 266? Oh my gosh, this brush is so old, I can't even read it. I think it's 266. It's just like a thin, angled liner brush, and I'm going to be using the Studio Fix Plus on this brush, just giving it a little spritz, and that will wet the brush enough so that when I apply the Deep Damson as liner on my under eye in my waterline, this will just kind of give it a more intense color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the deep dampen on this brush, line my waterline from the outer corner to the inner corner. Next, I'm going to be grabbing the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper, and I'm going to start by drawing a line from the outer corner of my eye up towards the edge of my brow. I'm then going to grab the liner and bring it from the inner corner of my eye to meet the outer corner of the line I just drew. Next, I'm going to be filling in my brows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Ebony. I really like this pencil. It gives a nice, smooth, natural finish. I'm just going to use short little hair-like strokes to fill in my brows. I'm going to finish off my brows using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is amazing. Your brows don't move all day. It's very important to me because I have kind of bushy brows and they move around all day. So this just kind of keeps them in place and keeps them looking tidy. Next, I'm going to be moving on to my lashes. I'm going to be applying fake lashes today, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to spare you some time here, so I'm just going to fast forward a bit through this part. This was my first time ever applying false lashes on camera, and I do have to say it took me freaking forever. Oh my gosh. I feel like I was so nervous. But I'm just using the onesie and twosie lashes. I wanted more of a natural look today, and I want it to be more winged at the outer edges. So I'm going to apply the longer ones towards the outer corner of my eye and move inward towards the inner corner with some shorter lashes. This was extremely difficult to do on camera, and I kept dropping my lashes and they were falling on me, and I had to find them. I can't just leave them around because if I see them later, I might think it's a spider, and oh my gosh, who knows how that will end. I'll probably burn the house down. The best way that I found to apply lashes is to hold a mirror kind of like upside down, so it's kind of like looking up your nose almost, and then applying the lashes using tweezers and looking down into the mirror. This just kind of gives you a better view of your lash line, and it's just easier to apply. Once I'm done applying my false lashes, I'm going to apply the Benefit They're Real mascara just to kind of blend my real lashes my real lashes and my false lashes together. For my lips, I'm going to be using a Kat Von D shade called Lolita. I've heard a ton of great reviews about this shade, and I really wanted to try it. I love the wearability. I love the color. I think this is going to be one of my favorites. I am going to have to skip to the end here. My camera went out and I didn't realize it, so all you do is finish your face off with some Urban Decay All Nighter spray and you are good to go.